Imagine packing your bags for a trip to the US, but it's not just your suitcase that's under scrutiny. It's your entire online life. Yes, your Instagram posts from 2013, your Twitter likes, even that edgy meme you shared last year. The US government is moving forward with plans to scrutinize foreign tourists' social media history before allowing them in. You might be asking, seriously? They're going to judge me on my digital past? Absolutely. This isn't some dystopian fantasy, it's actual policy in motion. Why does this matter? Because everything you've ever posted could become part of your so-called risk profile.
This is not a drill. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents are reportedly detaining travelers based on what's in their phone. Now, no weapons, not contraband, text messages, social media posts, anything critical of Trump. Let that sink in. You don't even have to say it out loud anymore. If your device has content they don't like, you are targeted. And it's being justified under the banner of national security. This is bigger than politics. This is about free speech, digital privacy, human rights. Because if what you can type can get you flagged, what happens next? They're watching what you say, what you think, and soon what you feel. If we keep handing over our freedoms for protection, we'll wake up in a digital dictatorship wrapped in a flag. Comment, protect the Constitution if you're not asleep. And follow your boy Crypto Black to stay in the know. See you next time.
Think of it as a digital dossier, a kind of virtual fingerprint. And unlike your real fingerprint, what you post can be taken out of context, misunderstood, or held against you. Now, let's break down what this means. Your online persona built over years is suddenly as crucial as your passport. It's no longer just about carrying the right documents, it's about carrying the right digital trail. So, are you ready for a world where your social media could keep you from stepping foot on American soil? Let's dive into what the US is actually planning and why it matters to you. Don't worry, I'll guide you through each step, making sense of the technical jargon like metadata and risk assessment algorithms so you know exactly what's at stake. Let's roll up our sleeves and get specific. According to Department of Homeland Security guidance, border agents may review just about everything you do online: social media posts, comments, captions, likes, reposts, even your political and religious views. Think about that for a second. Your digital footprint is no longer private. And here's the kicker. You don't need to have a criminal record or even be accused of anything suspicious.
The Trump administration wants to now check people's social media accounts, and no one is talking about this. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Santana, and there is a huge issue. We have a problem. Take a look at this. This just came out on the official U.S. London Chancellor Ambassador Twitter X account. On the official Twitter account for the U.S. Embassy London Chancellor, this is what they actually posted. Effective immediately, all individuals applying for a F, M, or J non-immigrant visa are requested to adjust their privacy settings on all their social media accounts to public to facilitate vetting necessary to establish the identity and admissibility to the United States under U.S. law. This is the official posting that was put out, but I wanted to make sure that I drew attention to the very top where it said, every visa adjudication is a national security decision. For anyone wondering what those visas are, these are student visas, right? Plain and simple, pretty much student visas. You have your Fs, you have your M, and you have your J, which is not a student visa. It's more of an exchange student program type of visa for different types of programs, normally connected with some type of educational purpose. Just to keep it simple, F, those are traditional academic visas. M, those are vocational programs. And J, those are culture exchange. Those are the visas. So some people may be seeing this and you think that this is not a big deal, but this is a huge deal. People are being told that to get into the country, to get these visas, to get access to the United States, you can no longer have a private Twitter account, TikTok account, Instagram account. They want to be able to check your social media accounts. They want to verify your social media accounts. And that puts everyone in risk. Yes, they're starting with students that are not from the United States. But how long until they start checking your accounts? MAGA, specifically white men. Don't let them start checking, your likes on your different social media accounts. You'll be in trouble with your wife and the government. Anyway, I love you guys. And as always, peace.
A sophisticated algorithm, think of it like a digital gatekeeper scans for activity that might flag you as a risk. It doesn't stop at what's visible. Agents may access deleted or archived content. That old Facebook rant or deleted tweet, it could resurface. And this doesn't just affect tourists. Students, business travelers, and even those applying for visas could be impacted. Now you might wonder, but isn't this a violation of privacy? Well, the US claims it's all about security, but where do we draw the line between security and surveillance? In short, your online life is subject to inspection. No warrant, no warning, no questions asked. Welcome to the era of the digital checkpoint. Let's pause and tackle the elephant in the room. This policy isn't just about safety, it's about control. When governments start screening speech instead of actual behavior, we enter dangerous territory. Here's a question for you. Who decides what's an acceptable opinion? Is criticizing U.S. policy on Twitter a red flag? Does attending a protest abroad mean you're a threat? Suddenly, ideology becomes the metric, not just intent. History gives us a clue: surveillance tends to expand, not contract. Just like the term mission creep in military strategy, policies that start at the border often move inward, affecting more people over time. Now, you might protest, but they're targeting only the dangerous ones, right? In reality, the definitions of danger and extremism are always shifting. Today it's foreign tourists, tomorrow who knows? The bottom line: when speech is police, democracy itself is put to the test. Are we willing to trade freedom of expression for the illusion of safety? Let's get real. This digital scrutiny isn't applied the same way to everyone. If history teaches us anything, it's that marginalized groups bear the brunt first.
Little old me. I know I ain't nobody special, but I'm tripping. I know for a fact I said that before what's his name? Before Professor Trunk started saying they got to look at y'all internet and shit and seeing going back 5 years. I said that about the politicians that we were gonna hire from this point on, because we hiring you motherfuckers, y'all are, or and firing you. I said, we're not going to vote for you until we know about your life at least 5-10 years back, to see how you was talking, to see if you was really on our side. And now that Professor Trunk is telling folks, we gonna go to your what is it, social media, we're gonna look at your social media for the past 5 years now to see if we should allow you into this place. I know they didn't hear me. Maybe Professor Trump did hear me. Anywho, I think it's amazing that they finna start looking back into y'all history, because y'all been dogging us. Y'all been being real pieces of shit to FBA. And now that the melanated people in the country that think they built this country and America is theirs, now they see that they didn't let all of y'all infiltrate them, and now they got to get rid of y'all. But that 5-year shit, I said that shit a while ago, but I'm glad they doing it now.
So, who's most at risk? Muslims, Africans, Middle Eastern and Caribbean travelers, Latin American tourists, political activists, journalists, students, basically anyone whose identity or opinions diverge from the mainstream. Think back to the concept of algorithmic bias. Imagine a screening tool programmed with stereotypes, innocent behaviors, get flagged just because of your name, language, or choice of hashtags. Now, some might argue, if you've done nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about. But when even your network, who you follow or engage with, can count against you, the system stops being fair. Let me tell you a story. A college student from Nigeria was detained for hours because his posts about religious tolerance were misread as subversive. One misinterpreted meme, and suddenly you're on the defensive. Let's call it what it is: digital profiling. Whether they use the term or not, communities already subject to injustice feel this policy first and hardest. Most of us believe our social media is like a diary with a delete key post, erase, move on. But that's a myth. Social media platforms retain metadata. Think of it as digital breadcrumbs and archive deleted content. Even if you hit delete, your information might linger on backup servers or in law enforcement databases. Ever heard of a shadow profile? That's when platforms build a dossier on you, including things you didn't directly post but were tagged in or linked to. Even your associations, who you interact with, what you like, are tracked. Now, consider this. At the border, there's no room for explanations. That joke from 2017, it could be misread. That sarcastic comment, flagged. The burden of proof falls on you, yet there's often no real appeals process. You might be thinking, but my account is private. Guess what? Government agencies routinely request data, and some platforms comply, especially at the border. In short, your digital footprint is more permanent and powerful than you think. It's evidence, whether you like it or not. Let's talk about the platforms themselves. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're not just social hubs, they're data mines. Every like, comment, repost, and interaction feeds massive databases that can be shared with authorities. Here's the technical side. Platforms use data retention policies, often keeping information long after users think it's gone, and network analysis lets them map out your connections. Suddenly, your digital friendships become part of your profile.
TikTok is getting your visas and green cards denied, and let me tell you how. USCIS is looking at your TikToks and social media, so is the US consulate. Every time you apply for a visa, you go for a green card interview for marriage or even applying for your citizenship. If you're applying for a visitor's visa, yet your social media indicates you're going to be working in the United States, denied. If you claim a bona fide marriage with your spouse, but your social media shows something different, denied. Making your post private, somehow the government's able to see. And the post with you smoking weed, you're going to be denied for drug abuse. Maybe you're getting too political, maybe even hate speech. You'll be denied for all of that. So make sure you clean it all up before you file.
Now, you might ask, can't I just deactivate my account? In reality, platforms often retain data even after deactivation. It's like emptying the trash, but the files are still sitting on the hard drive. Let me paint a scenario. You like an activist post. A year later, you visit the US and authorities flag your like as a sign of potential risk. Sound far-fetched? It's already happening at borders worldwide. So, understand this. Your social network is not just about who you know, but how machines interpret those digital connections. Let's imagine you're at the border. You're asked to explain a meme from years ago. There's no warning, no legal counsel, and almost never an appeals process. Border agents operate under broader discretion than almost any other law enforcement setting. Here's why. Administrative discretion lets agents deny entry with minimal explanation. The screening algorithms can be opaque, meaning you don't even know why you were flagged. Now, you might be thinking, can't I at least contest the decision? Unfortunately, for most foreign travelers, appeal options are practically non-existent. You're either delayed, interrogated, or sent home. This is what policy experts call a black box process. Decisions are made, but the criteria are hidden. It's like taking a test and not even knowing the questions or the answers. In this environment, your best defense is awareness, not hope for fairness after the fact. Now, let's be clear, I'm not here to spread panic. I'm here to arm you with knowledge. Borders aren't just physical lines, they're digital checkpoints now. Your phone is an extension of your passport. Your Instagram is part of your interview. Let me ask, when was the last time you reviewed your online history? Not just what you've posted this week, but years back. That's your digital record, and it's up for review. You might say, but I blend in, I'm not political. Yet, even routine posts can be misunderstood in a high-stakes security context.
Is going through immigrants' phones at the airports and checking their photos, their messages, their WhatsApp. This doctor just recently got her H-1B visa canceled and she got sent back, essentially deported to Lebanon because they searched her phone when she was coming back from Lebanon and found some stuff on it that was controversial to American foreign policy. And as a result, they canceled her visa and she's going back. This is all over the news. This doctor on an H-1B. So just remember, immigrants, if you're traveling, you're a green card holder, you've got a visit visa, a student visa, an H-1B type of visa, be careful what's on your phone because immigration is searching it. And if they find something that's controversial, that's against American foreign policy, or it's against your own immigration case, if you're a fiance trying to get married to an American citizen and you've got photos of another man or woman that you're seeing, immigration say, hey, you don't look like you're in a real relationship. We're going to cancel your visa. So just be careful.
Think of your digital presence as a living resume, one that border agents can audit at will. Here's a tip. Adjust your privacy settings, rethink your public comments, and be cautious about associating with controversial content. This isn't about self-censorship. It's about self-protection. The future of travel is digital. Whether you agree with it or not, being aware is the first step to navigating this new world. So, you're planning a trip to the US. What should you do? First, be mindful of your digital footprint. Before you book that flight, audit your social media. Ask yourself, would I be comfortable explaining any of this to a border agent? Consider privacy hygiene, a term cybersecurity experts use to describe regular checkups of your online presence. Tighten your account settings, remove outdated or controversial content where you can. Now, some platforms keep data even after you delete it, so be strategic. Avoid oversharing, especially about political or religious views. Let me share a quick example. A friend of mine, a student from Brazil, was questioned for following political activists on Twitter. She had to explain every connection for hours. Sometimes who you follow matters as much as what you say. Bottom line, the world is shifting. Thinking before you post is just as important as thinking before you travel. Stay smart, stay safe.